Imagine you're in mid-1994, standing in a tiny shop in the Bronx, watching a struggling shoe company about to collapse. Then, almost out of nowhere, their sales skyrocket, college students can't stop talking about their sneakers, and suddenly these shoes are everywhere. What sparks this explosion? This is the moment Malcolm Gladwell calls the tipping point, the mysterious moment when a small change triggers a massive shift. But what really causes a trend, an idea, or even crime rates to flip overnight? Stick with me, because we're about to uncover the invisible forces pushing our world's biggest changes. Not everyone's equal when it comes to sparking a trend. Gladwell dives into why some people have the power to light the fuse, setting the stage for explosive change. Back in 1994, the Hush Puppies shoe brand was dying, stuck in fashion oblivion. Then a small pack of trend-setting kids in downtown Manhattan started wearing them. They weren't random shoppers. These were connectors, folks with huge social circles. Suddenly their friends wanted in. Sales soared from 10,000 pairs a year to over 400,000, proof one link in a network can ignite a wildfire. Gladwell splits these special people into three categories. Connectors link diverse social groups like social glue. Mavens are info junkies, always in the know. Salesmen. They're the ones with irresistible charisma who persuade without pressure. Think about a group chat. One friend forwarding gossip, maven, another inviting the whole crew, connector, and a smooth talker convincing you to join, salesman. Together, they're a social super team. The kicker: you don't need the whole population to shift behavior, just the right few. It's like a party. One popular guest can fill the room, while thousands buzzing on the sidelines just don't matter. Businesses and activists aiming to start movements should focus less on mass blasts and more laser-precise on these social hubs. It's the secret code to flipping trends efficiently and powerfully. All right, having the right people is gold, but what's the secret sauce to make ideas unforgettable, or as Gladwell calls it, sticky? Let's crack how small tweaks make messages irresistible. Take Sesame Street, launched in the late 1960s to help poor kids learn reading and math. Instead of dull drills, creators used music, humor, and characters like Big Bird to make lessons unforgettable. This wasn't accidental, it was engineered stickiness. Suddenly kids wanted to learn because the show was glued to their brains. Educational TV wasn't just TV anymore. It became a game changer in pedagogy. Think about your favorite catchy tune. You hum it unintentionally, it won't leave your head. That's stickiness, an idea or message behaving like a mental earworm. This happens when content triggers emotion, repetition, and simplicity, much like a pop song's hook. Once an idea sticks, it spreads effortlessly because it's not boring or forgettable. It's electric in your mind. Here's the twist. Stickiness isn't about complexity. It's about trimming and refining until an idea hits just right. Febreze initially flopped as a mere odor eliminator, but its makers repositioned it as a cleaning reward. People loved the fresh smell afterward, which stuck in their habits differently. Tiny shifts in framing can completely flip how sticky an idea is, changing failure into colossal success. Now, let's talk environment. Why do tiny changes in surroundings push entire cities or groups into tipping points? Gladwell's answer flips how we think about big social shifts. In the early 1990s, New York's crime was sky-high: drugs, violence, vandalism everywhere. Then a radical approach got tried: zero tolerance on small crimes like subway graffiti and fare dodging. The assumption: fix the little broken windows and bigger crimes follow. Crime rates didn't just drop a little, they crashed by more than 60% over a decade. The city felt reborn. But what made that tiny ripple trigger a tidal wave? Gladwell explains the broken windows theory. A simple idea that untended disorder signals chaos is allowed. encouraging more serious crime. Imagine a neglected garden. If weeds go unchecked, the whole patch goes wild. But if you prune the weeds early, the garden can flourish. Social behavior works similarly. People mirror environmental cues, so context shapes actions profoundly. The real shocker: massive societal shifts often start with microscopic environmental nudges, cleaner subways, better lighting, even small social norms. It means we don't always need sweeping reforms to change behavior. Sometimes, all it takes is tuning the backdrop, the frame everyone lives in, and the whole story transforms unexpectedly. So what ties all this together? Gladwell likens ideas to viruses. Some spread wildly, others fade quietly. Why do only a few bloom into full-blown epidemics? The answer will keep you thinking. The book recounts the early days of the HIV epidemic. Why did it explode in certain cities and populations, but barely register elsewhere at first? Gladwell suggests it wasn't just biology, but social connections, behaviors, and contexts that created hotspots. Tiny behavioral shifts in key social groups caused exponential viral spread. Recognizing these subtle forces changed public health approaches overnight. Gladwell uses the epidemic metaphor a lot. Ideas, fashions, drop in crime rates. They all spread like illnesses through a population. But unlike germs, they need these sticky messages and the right connectors to infect new hosts. Picture ideas like sparks. A single one fizzles out unless it hits dry tinder, a social structure primed to catch fire. The insight: epidemics don't just happen by chance or mass exposure. They rely on conditions, people, and context aligning perfectly. When that tipping point hits, growth stomps the gas pedal with no brakes. It's why some small nudges can create runaway success or failure in anything from flu outbreaks to viral dance crazes. So how do you use this? Whether you're marketing, leading, or just trying to get your friends on board, Gladwell's insights become your playbook for sparking change. Businesses like Apple and even social campaigns learn to hunt connectors and mavens first. Instead of blandly shouting to millions, they zeroed in on the few who could ignite the crowd. Think of it as lighting a fuse, not bombing a field. This precision makes every dollar, every word count far more than a shotgun blast approach. Once you have the seed crowd, sculpt your message to stick. Use emotional hooks, simple visuals, and vivid stories. Like Sesame Street or Febreze, your idea needs a gripping narrative that anchors people's attention and compels sharing. The stickier your message, the faster your idea rides social waves. Don't overlook context. Sometimes a tiny change to your environment or process can tip everything. Cleaning up your workspace, creating specific social cues, or reducing friction increases momentum without huge effort. The fewer barriers, the easier it is for your change to snowball. Remember that Bronx sneaker shop from the beginning. Thanks to a handful of connectors rocking those shoes, the right sticky buzz, and a social context ripe for change, a dying brand exploded into a sensation. That's the tipping point magic: tiny forces multiplying into massive, unstoppable waves. Next time you want to spread an idea or spark change, try this. Identify your connectors, craft a stickier message, and tweak your environment. You might just be standing on the edge of the next big thing. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.